All right, everyone, thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the third episode of the Zone's All Access and the very first Pit Pass. I'll be talking with Jonathan, Ayden, and Averie Weaver about sports and karting. Thank you all for coming. Just right now, I must take a moment to thank our team of marketing partners and First Century Bank for providing our communications. All right. What's it like to have kids involved in sports and racing?
It's nice. It's good. It keeps them busy. It's a challenge for all of us, though. Just with the schedules, we publish a website every year. We have a Google Calendar that they have access to that everything gets posted on, because it's a struggle sometimes getting from A to B.
Okay. When we first started this racing endeavor, did you think it'd go anywhere, or?
No, nothing like what it has. Ayden was always into driving, liked things with wheels. He was a car kid through and through. So we just bought some stuff, went to a little local track, gave it a little bit of a try. He done really, really well with that. We didn't really have any goals, didn't have anything set out, no aspirations at that time. Started running a little bit of local stuff. Started picking up from there. We won some local point series, and from there we've had the opportunity to go to Eldora, Daytona, places like that. And that was never on the radar. That was never something that I thought.
Amazing experiences. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to do that.
What did you do as a kid? Was you into sports or racing or anything like that?
I always liked racing. I always thought that was neat. I was always around local tracks, things like that. Enjoyed going. Of course, back then NASCAR was the pinnacle of sports. That was kind of what everybody looked up to, things like that. So I grew up under that umbrella, fortunately.
Did you get the chance to drive any?
No.
Okay, let's start with you, Ayden. What sports did you play, or have you been playing, I should say? I know basketball, and what else?
Mainly just basketball. I've been practicing, trying to get better at that.
Yeah. How did you know what you would like to get behind the wheel of a kart?
I've always watched it and stuff on TV and thought it'd be cool. And then when I first got out there, the adrenaline rush and going fast and stuff, it kind of caught me onto it.
Yeah. Averie, same question.
Just mainly play basketball and volleyball. It's fun. Ayden started me on racing. First time I tried it, I went out on the track. And I screamed about halfway through the straightaway and said, "Dad, come get me!" And
I think I've heard that story.
And I was just like, I don't want to do it. And then they put me in a car, and I said, I want to go fast. So I just started going and started off from there.
Was there any competitiveness between you two? Oh, of course they are, yeah.
All the time.
They're not allowed to race together.
Who helped you when you first started?
Mainly my dad. We had some friends that we raced with. They helped us a lot, but mainly just my dad, getting into it, learning the basics.
What about you?
Yeah, Dad and Tater Tate.
Okay. Who did you lean to get them started?
I called a few different people. Tater was a big resource for us. He'd been into it quite a bit. The first year, we just bought a bunch of stuff and went blind. We just tried it to see how it would go. We didn't really run competitive. And the next year, I reached out to Tater and said, "Hey, we need a little bit of help with this." And he's been on board ever since. He's been a good mentor for everybody and been involved and really been an asset to them and their development.
Yeah, of course. What does driving a kart feel like? You describe it.
It happens very fast. You don't have time to think. It just happens.
Tell me what it feels like going down the straightaway and seeing that turn up there and saying, "Oh no."
You can feel the air pushing you. It's real weird. You can feel air coming at you, your momentum. The farther you get down straightaway, your speed starts to pick up, and then when you dump it off in the corner, you're like, "Whoa!" It gets so much faster. Clicks and goes.
What's it feel like for you?
Well, sometimes putting people in the infield. Depends. Getting wrecked. Most of the time they're too far behind me for them to wreck me. But I mean, you can kind of feel the wind. I mean, he leans more than I do, but yeah, it's basically the same when you're turning.
Okay, what are the karts itself like? Describe one, Avery.
They're pretty comfy, but like when you wreck, it's not. It's like you don't know what's about to happen. You could wreck, you could spin, you could break your ankle like I did. Really anything could happen. So.
Do you feel it's worth the risk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What about you? What's it feel like sitting down there?
I've been able to drive like many different types of go-kart, like manufacturers. There's a big difference between those. Then I've been able to drive like a flat cart and then one with a cage. Those are completely different. But like, you have to get very comfortable or you don't like it. I get situated in there. Like as we start running more big races, I have to like sit back so the air doesn't hit me as hard and like slow me down. So that was took some time getting used to.
Yeah. What's it take to field two karts?
A lot. It's a process. We spend many hours in the garage during the week. Ayden has both types of karts that he referenced. He has the flat cart, which is an open air type cart. The other is a cage cart where you're belted in, things like that. So he does run both of those. She doesn't. She tried it with the belted cart with the cage, and that was not her thing. She did not like being strapped in like that.
We're talking champ karts?
Yeah. She did
Wow.
not like
I
it.
figured you'd like that.
She moved to
Too
the
many
open cart.
seats.
She did great with it. So we spend quite a few hours. Usually Saturday's race day. Those 10, 12-hour days, constantly going, fielding both of them. He'll run multiple classes wherever we go. So you're kind of on the move there, working at it. And then Sunday's cleanup day. So the side of our yard looks like a yard sale every Sunday. There's stuff from one end to the other. We're washing, cleaning, and through the weeks assembly, getting ready to do it again.
To someone considering taking up karting, describe the cost and how you've been able to offset it with sponsors.
So the sponsors are the backbone of any type of motorsports and things like that. With the growth of sports, especially motorsports, it's almost developed into something you hear more of a marketing partnership now, just because of the resources. Even with karting, a lot of the big races we go to, they have pay-per-view now, so people are watching it from all over.
Yes.
The exposure's there, the people are there, so that's really good. We've been fortunate as far as offsetting the cost to just do a little bit as we can, just year by year. We've kind of added to the stable, things like that. We look for deals, look for help, but sponsors really help that.
Okay, to the person that wants to do karting, what advice would you give them about the money aspect of it? And how much really do you think, or should you expect them to put into a kart and the equipment to run?
Sure. So the best way to start is locally. It's super competitive at the local level. That's a misconception. You see with a lot of people, even national and local, it's competitive everywhere you go. So just to run locally, you can run pretty reasonable. You're $2,000 to $4,000. That's everything you need as far as safety gear, used carts, things like that, and being semi-competitive.
Yeah. Is there a dollar figure you put on it?
I'd say probably between $2,000 to $4,000. Just depending on
$2 to
what,
$4 grand. Okay. To you guys, describe your first time out. We got a taste of it a minute ago, yeah.
So, my first time ever racing, I think it was third or fourth, something like that. There was a couple, like 5 or 6, not that many, but I was like, Taylor was telling me the straightaways in the corner. I said, "What's a straightaway? And what's a corner?" And he was like, "I thought you knew this." I was like, "No." He said, "Something low." I was like, "What do you mean?" And then they just sent me on the track, and I was like a wet spaghetti. I was doing this the whole time.
So something we took for granted with Avery is Ayden always took to it really well. He always had the ability to adapt to tracks. He performs well at new tracks, which is just amazing. And he's a self-learner. He developed all the flags. He knew the things like that. You don't think about it, but just with your general knowledge base. And the first time Avery went out, Taylor was trying to coach her, low in the corners, high on the straightaways. She did great, went out on the track, did exactly the opposite of that. She pulled in, Taylor was just shaking his head, and she said, "Taylor, what's a straightaway and what's a corner?" She didn't know what the flags were. She was just out there living her best life. But under caution, you could hear her singing.
That's the only way I keep myself calm.
Okay. Your first time out.
They had, from what I remember, they had like a kids thing where they let them race, but it wasn't like you start and then like you come to a stop and then you go and stuff. It was more like they separated you and let you get some laps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been used to late models and stuff and how they run the top and stuff. And there wasn't a berm, but it was kind of banked. And the first few laps on out there, I was running the top. And then we only ran like 10 laps, I think. I ran the top the whole time. And then I remember coming off and they asked what happened. I said, Jonathan Davenport can do it, I can too.
What challenges do you feel when you're in a kart racing?
Definitely the reaction time. Like you don't have enough time to think, do I go high or low? You just gotta let it happen and hope it's in your favor.
Yeah. You?
You don't really know what's about to happen. Somebody could pass you. I mean, you never know. Most of the time when people try to pass me, I kind of turn them into the infield. Yeah.
It's part of the challenge, like to yourself, to make a better lap.
You kind of just go off of how fast you feel and what you think's about to happen. You never know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If the track's slick, you're gonna have to adjust. If it's not, just keep the same line. You might have to adjust to the people you're out there with. Just never know.
Okay. Is it a personal challenge to make a faster lap each time?
I've grown enough. We have like a tack that monitors your lap time. It tells you like your lap time. We put that on the back of the steering wheel just enough where I can read it. So I can practice and stuff. I'll try different lines and see what like I can progress the most with, and see like which one's the fastest and stuff.
Yeah. Before you hit the track, you're sitting there, you're lined up. What's going through your mind?
I try not to let anything. I get real nervous very easy.
Are you focused on what you feel like you have to do, or are you like her singing a song or humming
I
or
usually
something?
zone off. I'm usually out here. Then by the time I sit down, I kind of start thinking about what I need to do and stuff.
Yeah. What about you?
Basically, singing's my main. That's basically what I do.
Describe to me as close as you can what a lap feels like.
Very rough, like bumpy and stuff. Like, wow. All your gear and stuff can get heavy. Like that's a lot. Yeah, just everything happens fast. You don't have time to hesitate. You just like gotta let it go.
Do you feel the pressure as you go around a turn? Does it throw your head out?
Depending on like the track state, it can get like slick and stuff, and you'll start sliding and stuff. That's pretty fun. But like it can change, and it'll be real gripped up, and you're like straight and narrow, where it can get loose, and you have to like let off more and stuff.
What's it feel like when you're gripped up?
Fast. I like that better. It's fast.
What about you? Describe a lap to me.
Definitely fast, and it can be slow. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. You always got to look out in front of you. I mean, it can feel like a win or like a lose. You never know.
Yeah. Do you feel that this lap is slow and I've got to do better? Is that pressure on you, or do you take it as it comes and don't think about that slow lap? Or do you just focus on a faster lap? Describe what you feel there.
I'm focusing on what's gonna happen, not what did happen. So if I made a slow lap, I'm gonna try to get faster and build that, not get slower.
Okay. Let's, for instance, don't happen much with you, but you miss your line. You slide up or something. You feel that pressure. I've got to get back in here. What do you do?
I just turn down. Gotta get back in line. You just got turned down.
Are you mad at yourself?
It can get frustrating. Like, I try to, like, if one mistake is okay, but, like, multiple, it gets very frustrating. I try not to get frustrated because then I start messing up more.
What about you? You've missed your line. What do you do?
I really just try to get back in my groove and hit my better marks and really just get faster.
All right, so you've got a friend that wants to go karting. We'll say that. What do you tell that friend?
Expect the unexpected.
You?
It's fun and dangerous. If you're a chicken, don't do it.
Okay. What is the very best part of karting? You first.
Definitely the adrenaline rush.
All right.
Watching them cheer for you as you cross the finish line.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. What's the worst part?
Probably getting wrecked. That's pretty frustrating. Or like having a you have a chance and just mess it up.
Really when I don't win, and it's not my fault half the time. But really wrecking.
All right. Are you going to do anything when you get old enough, we'll say, to maybe change out of a kart into a car? Are you going to do that? Is that in your future?
I'm trying for a late model right now. I think I'm ready. I'd like to move up and possibly get good at late models and stuff, but we'll just see where it goes.
What's your dream?
Probably be pretty good at late models.
What about you? Any future plans?
Like bandoleros and stuff like that. I think they're cool. Derby cars.
Yeah.
That's more her speed.
Oh, mercy. Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Oh yeah.
All right. Talk about the opportunities you've had of driving factory karts and just all those opportunities you've been given.
I've been given a lot we've got, like Dad said, Tater, Dre, he helps us with our tires. His little sister Savannah's helped me a lot. We've got a lot of sponsors. Everybody pitches in.
When you got that first opportunity, was you validated, or did you say, "Yeah, I made it"? Did that go through your mind?
I was like very self-proud,
Oh, you should be.
I did that, like I wasn't expecting that, but then I knew I had a point to prove to keep on going.
That's good. Who did you pattern your driving after?
Ayden. Definitely Ayden.
Did you have any hero you looked up to in motorsports?
Kyle Larson.
What about you?
Kyle Larson is a pretty good one. I think she took.
What about how did you pattern your driving style? Who'd you take after? Or who do you think you took after?
I'd probably say mainly Savannah because we've helped each other a lot. She's helped me like at different
Savannah.
Maddox.
Okay.
She's helped me a lot.
Favorite track and why?
Probably J&M, just because it was so rough and you could really drift in the corners. It was fun.
Same question.
It's hard to pick. I've got to go to Millbridge and then Eldor and Daytona's tied up there. I like them all. Millbridge was fun because like you could drift, and then Eldor was a good opportunity. And Daytona was too.
Oh, Eldora. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite trip?
Millbridge. Millbridge is really cool. It's right there in the heart of
Yeah.
North Carolina. So the crowd there, you never know who you're going to see. There's just random NASCAR people there walking around, hanging out. We got to see a lot of that. And then the facility there is top notch. It's a small track. It's similar to Tazewell here. I always tell people it's banked like Tazewell, it's shaped like Tazewell. But imagine a go-kart track around the concession stand in the infield. That's about the size of it. So the scale of that was neat. We've always had good opportunities over there. He's really been good there.
What race, what track did you feel like you performed the best at?
I think it was my first year at Eldora. I started like 12th, and I was like, because there were so many big competitors there, I couldn't get out of my head. And I probably not even 2 minutes before the race, I just kind of sat there and like said, I'm gonna have to do something. And I came from like 10th to 3rd and fell back, and I think I finished like 2nd or something. I was real close.
What about you? What's the track you just felt like you've done the best you ever could?
Definitely Ashley. I've won a bunch at Ashley. It feels good to win. Ashley is really my home track, and it really just gets me in the groove of this racing and stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna pick your brain. Describe to me tight and loose.
Loose is like slick, like slides and then possibly spin out. And tight is like you get in the corner about midway through, like the front starts to push up, like it won't turn no more.
You agree with that?
I do.
You got anything you want to add to it?
Don't get up in loose dirt. That's not where you want to be.
What would you rather drive? Loose or tight?
Loose.
You?
Definitely tight, because I drove loose once and I ended up at Children's Hospital.
Ooh, bad day.
Yeah.
Is that the ankle?
Yep.
Okay, I'll talk to you about this. How often do they share information?
Constantly. That's one thing about being at the tracks. We have a good network of systems. Savannah, you mentioned your aid, people like that. It's constant all the time, back and forth, different information, things like that. Between the two of them, it's a competitive sharing as well. So if one wins and the other one's fixing to go out, look out. There's a lot of pressure there, and a lot of back and forth and bragging rights for the week and things like that. But while you're at the track, it's almost constant. He's almost always going on with something, developing stuff, because the track changes. It's dirt, it's constantly changing.
Yeah. What's the closest track to Tazewell?
Probably Ashways and Strawberry Plains.
Yeah. Okay. What do you feel like? Do you feel like you share a lot of information with other drivers?
I try. I'm not very good at describing stuff. Like, I'm used to, like, I've gotten where I can come out to Dre and be like, I want this, but I don't understand how they want it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like some of the younger ones that I try to help. I try to tell them like most of what I know, but like I just don't really know exactly what to tell them.
You do the basics like,
Yeah.
watch turn 3, there's a hole over there, or
stuff like that.
what about you?
I really try to like help the kids that are like younger than me, like telling them their lines and like telling them if it's loose or tight, and telling them being able to communicate with other people and stuff like that.
You first. Who do you want to thank?
There's a long list. So of course Tater, he's always with us and helps. Dre does tires. We've got Mitch in Morristown at 100% diesel. He helps get us up and down the road. He helps a lot. So we have a ton of sponsors like that help back and forth. Of course, you've been an asset, getting your name out there, helping us on things like that.
Thanks.
Daniel Martin, Tazewell Express Care. He's been with us for a long time. We have a really good support network like that.
Okay, any new additions this year to your sponsor list or partners list, we'll say?
Pretty much going with the same. We're going to kind of keep things like they were. We have a really good, we're always welcoming people. We have a pretty good something to offer with that. We do have a website, so we're changing it up a little bit. We have about 500 unique visitors a month, which blows my mind. We publish all our pictures, schedules, things like that. Used equipment, we try to sell a lot of our stuff on there and do it.
Is there anything you wish you had right now that you don't have?
A lot. There's been a lot of rule changes this year, things like that. So we're always looking for tires. We're always adding things like that. Engine refreshes are every 10 to 12 races. So we're always doing stuff like that. So there's always something you can use as a race team.
Who do you want to thank?
But yeah, definitely what he said. I've had a lot of opportunities, Gray, Savannah, all his family, my family. to a lot of people.
Same question.
Yeah, definitely you've been a big help. Definitely my dad and Aiden. All the Maddoxes. Yeah, that's
Okay. What do you want out of this season?
Definitely a few big race wins. I was able, I have an iRacing sim.
Mhm.
It's a simulator. I was able, I'm in like a points thing that starts Sunday that I get to do, so I'd like, that'd be cool to win it. Just mainly some big races.
Is it karting or is it a late model?
No, it's a Legends car.
Legends sim.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? What's this season hold for you? What do you want to accomplish?
I want to race Aiden and beat him and rub it in his face.
What else? We could have guessed that one.
I would definitely like to win a few. I'd like to travel a little bit. And get a little bit better.
Where would you like to go?
Really anywhere.
Just anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anywhere you want to try this year.
Eldora is always good. We always like it. We like the opportunity to go back there. Millbridge is always good. They don't have a ton of races that we can do. That's always a good one. Those are two of the tracks we'd like to get back to and check out. Talladega's also got a few races coming up. We've talked about it. That would be a cool track to get to and check out also.
Any interest to do the Daytona thing where they're super fast?
Maybe that would be pretty cool.
Would you want to go that fast?
Definitely.
Would you want them to go that fast?
Yeah, when they're ready. You know, you hear him talk about cars and things like that. He's a little bit young at 12.
Yeah.
You still see it. You see a lot of that now. A lot of kids are getting into it younger and younger. But I think when he's ready, the maturity level's there, the physical ability, I think it'll be something neat.
Okay, tell me something that he needs to improve on.
So this one's really funny, and he's done a great job at it, but it's really, really hard to explain to a kid. And the best reference you can use is the movie Kart, is that you gotta slow down to go fast sometimes. He always wants to be the fastest one there. He's always fast. He comes out of the gate hot. But one thing that we've worked on that he's starting to learn, and he's done well with it over the past couple of years, is the first thing you're racing is the track, not necessarily the competitors. Sometimes the track's fast, sometimes it's slow. If it's slow, you gotta slow down with it. You can overdrive the track. When he was younger, if the track was fast, untouchable. He was always fast. If the track was slow, it's hit or miss because he was still going to be fast.
What about her?
She's really done good with consistency. One thing about her with the karts is the heaviest part of the kart's you. You're the main ballast in the cart. She sits straight up. Her posture's great. Her vision's good with the track. She's done great with that in a short amount of time. She's only raced locally. We've not traveled as much. So probably something we talked about is a little bit more competition. Maybe some new tracks and some bigger races. Kind of try that out and see how that goes.
What advice would you give to her?
She needs to calm down.
Same. What advice would you give to him?
He definitely needs a sissy strap to keep his head from leaning.
Okay, here's your chance to say anything you want to your fans. I mean, the people that come to help you. If you want to thank somebody, you can. Just whatever you want. It's your opportunity to just say what you want.
I'm very thankful for like all the opportunities I've been given from different rides, different like go-karts, sponsors, tracks, being able to travel. That's pretty cool. The iRacing deal, that's pretty cool. Possibly a car eventually, that would be pretty cool.
What about you?
I want to thank my dad for buying me a go-kart and the tires and the opportunity to get to race and everybody that helps me and there's my tires and gets me ready to get on the track.
All right, same question to you. Who do you want to thank, or really, just if you want to say something about your kids here,
Sure.
it's your chance.
There's too many to name individually. Just everybody that's helped us along the way. We've had a ton of opportunities. It's things we've never planned on. Everybody that cheers for us, it's really rewarding and fulfilling to go somewhere 3 or 4 hours from home and everybody knows who Ayden is. One role I wasn't prepared for was becoming Ayden's dad everywhere we know. A lot of people don't know my name, they know I'm Ayden's dad, you know. So it's really rewarding to get to see that, see the impact he's made. There's a ton of younger kids that come up to Ayden that look up for him. I've been really, really big on that. I think that's cool, having that. To see him go from being that little kid that looked up to the Jimmy Owens and people like that to developing where some people are looking up to him now. That's rewarding. That's really good. So I'm really thankful to see all that with everybody.
You mentioned Jimmy Owens. Compare his driving style to a driver, a late model driver.
That's a tough one. One that I really like, and he actually models quite a bit, I would say, is Dale McDowell. Ayden's consistent. One thing about him, he's pretty smooth, he's pretty consistent. He can be aggressive, but he's not usually overly aggressive. So I would say that's somebody I would kind of compare him to.
All right. What about her?
That's a tough one. I would say a young Bobby Pierce.
Kyle Bronson.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She probably drives like a young Bobby Pierce. You're going to see everything. She lays it all out there. If you're outside or in the wrong spot, just hang on because you may eat a fender or a quarter pound. She's going to give it all it's got. Finishing's not always the first priority with her.
Well, if you're crossed, right? Okay, what's a successful season this year?
Growth. Seeing some rewarding like that, just seeing them develop. Having a good fun year, that's the biggest thing we get out of it. Of course, you know, we always want to win. That's the goal when you show up. But you're going to show up against 20 to 30 competitors. Everybody wants to win. So just enjoying the moment, just being there, being present in the moment, getting new opportunities, getting to travel, just getting to spend time together. That's our goal. That's a win for us.
All right. Thank you for coming all the way down here in Locust Grove.
Thank you.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And you wish you the best of luck. And once again, thank you everyone for watching. And we take another moment to thank our marketing partners, First Century Bank, for providing our communications. And thank you for watching tonight. And we'll see you next time. And God bless. Thanks, guys.